plan in the early parts of the game. We got a little excited, we got a little out of control, and we need to remember to, hey, during these times, we got to calm down, and we got to make sure that we are following through our game plan.
Yeah, and frankly, RIX, those two games were so winnable as well. It comes down to what did you take away from that series against T1? And if you look at the draft playing out right now, you have some similarities, but you also have some differences, Rafa.
Oh, but we just blazed through the entire first round of the draft. Both Vivo Kid and RIX know exactly what they want to play here, and now we have to take some time to really look at what the core of the compositions have been drafted.
Yeah, so far on the side of RIX, you know what they're going to be playing around. It's going to be random. It's going to be 7. Snitch is going to be trying to enable them, and very likely you will also see Mages, Varus, something along those lines come out in Dragon Lane to really just try to snowball random at 7. These are your key win conditions. On the side of Vivo Kid, Lee Sin for the early game, Camille for the late.
I feel like Vivo Kid are going for something similar to what RIX were looking to do in their series with T1. Use the Lee Sin as that early game bridge, snowball the Camille, because we know that in some of the games that we have already seen, most notably, I think Jong on the T1 side with that Camille being able to turn out some huge numbers. Odysseus, the Baron laner for Vivo Kid, could look to do something similar.
Yeah, and Odysseus, together with Lot, have a lot of potential here to shut down random. Camille functions as a counter pick to Jace in the mid game, in the late game, because it's so easy to get on top with him. Couple that with a Lee Sin, and you have the potential to just shut down random in the side lane, which, like you said, was something that T1 was doing against RIX.
Right now, RIX are looking to round out their composition with a support and either a marksman in the Dragon Lane or some type of AP carry. Vivo Kid already aware of 2 of those things, taking away both the Set and the Lux, whereas RIX, Lux would have been solid here, and now a Thresh for Mena. We've already seen some of the best Thresh gameplay from around the world, both from Liberty's Manafritze and from Buryram's What the Jess.
Yeah, and this Thresh from Mena is going to give him a lot of potential to work in tandem with Lot as well. These two need to be on the map, getting tempo, making plays, and shutting down RIX.
RIX now have to find an answer here. A lot of support picks have been taken off the table. No Rakan, no Galio. Thresh already taken by Mena. Also Gragas and Set. No support yet, but a solid pick in the Dragon Lane for Doom. Yeah, and also this does 2 things, right? Varus in isolation, it's a great pick. It's a lot of setup for the team comp. It's double poke together with Jace, but he also denied the possibility of the Koki going mid for Vivo Kid and picking up Varus trash Dragon Lane. That could be very dominant, very scary to deal with. This Braum pick, I'm not the biggest fan of, but it does give RIX some sort of safety here, I guess. Yeah, talking with Riku yesterday. Oh man. Twisted Fate for Katrina. So we have seen this before, and in their series against J-Team, Katrina was looking to make proactive plays with the Twisted Fate. It didn't work as well as they had hoped. The agency was not timed well, and J-Team had just done such an incredible job of just really strangleholding the members of Vivo Kid that prevented them from getting out of hand. But in theory, over in the Wild Tour, we have seen so many times Vivo Kid for Katrina on this Twisted Fate. If he's able to sync up with the Lee Sin, then you are playing to the Baron side of the map. You are getting Odysseus snowballed out of control. And you know Mena is going to be roaming there as well. And once you get to the mid game, once you get to the late game, you won't need Lee Sin. You're also going to be on clue to see if he can match the tempo of the Brazilian support as we head into game 1 of this series. Right, it's gonna be a very standard start for both of these teams, but I'm expecting RIX to have to make some plays in the early stages. It's gonna be difficult against a Lee Sin. It's gonna be difficult against a Twisted Fate, but they need to get a snowball going, Rafa. Well, that's not happening for another minute, you know. Yeah, we're chilling for now. Yeah, we are piss chilling here on the Rift. We are back to the podcast, we are back to the radio station, but the lane that we should be watching out for right now, it's gonna be Baron lane, right? We put a lot of pressure on both Random and Odysseus, saying that they have to carry their teams with the champions that they've been drafted, with the comms that have been drafted. A lot of pressure is going to be on that. And it comes down to the supporting cast for both of these teams as well. How well can Vivo Kid use the tools of Katrina, Lord, and Mena to snowball this Camille? But on the same token, how can RIX use things like Snitch, things like Clue? While Braum doesn't have as much playmaking ability, he's great at defensive maneuvers. You can block a lot of poke damage. If Clue is able to match the roams on Mena, he might not be able to go for a gank per se that is going to put Odysseus out of commission, but he can at least neutralize any maneuvers. Yeah, that's the name of the game here, right? It's counter-ganking, it's neutralizing. You're playing it a bit slow here. Snitch didn't want to commit to that one because they kind of knew the Lot might be waiting there as well. Mena, 1 minute 30 seconds in, already roaming, but he's on a ward. He's done the homework, but as you said, the ward spots him out. But I love this, that Mena is super aggressive already in the game. And one thing, even though this isn't the same team, I did get a chance to catch up with Manafritza, the support for Liberty. One of the things that he was talking a lot about for Brazil as a region is how much the supports have learned from some of the Eastern teams, especially the Chinese teams, how aggressive and how fast they move around. And they said, yeah, you know, the first couple games we've had on the stage as a region have not been the best, but we have learned so much. And we have similar mechanical levels, and we are here to show that Brazil is a region that you do not sleep on.
Definitely not. I have Brazil pegged as the best Western region coming into Icons. And given what we've seen from Liberty, that seems like it might be the case so far. Vivo Keed, this is going to be a very intense match for them for a couple of reasons, right? It's an elimination game. We've talked about that already. But look at the top of your screens right now. WREC, number 2. WBR, number 2. A lot of pressure. This is basically an even matchup if you look at it on paper. Your second seed against our second seed. Regional pride is on the line here, Rafa.
And to think about it, Omo, these two teams come with similar stories as well.
Yeah.
RIX, so close to winning it all in their respective finals. But 2 times, the games were stolen away from them thanks to Team Queso's Andres. For Vivo Keed, they went to the full distance, the full Game 7, but it was Omega Esports that triumphed. So even though these are the number 2 seeds respectively in the region, a lot of fans from both sides could reason that these are some of the best or could have been the number 1 teams.
Here we go, Rafa.
And it's already off to the races here for Vivo Keed. Mena could look to at least burn a flash here from Doom. Looking for the...
What?
You saw that, right? He was looking for the flash prediction from Doom.
He was, but my question right now is, why did Katrina pop his Destiny Gate so late? He needed to be way earlier. You start off that play with the go card, not with anything else. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to please me, right?
Yeah,
Execution.
I had to pause for a minute, and I was like, damn, you right. Well,
yeah, the idea was there, but you kind of slip up at the end of the day. The thing about Vivo Keed's team comp is once you get to the late game, it is very simple. You pot to the lane, you Hextech ultimatum, that's basically going to be a kill on the Jace like 90% of the time. Early game's hot though. Oh no, Random.
Hey, you said a kill onto the Jace, right? Well,
yeah.
Vivo Keed are here to deliver. Lord trying to flash over the Dragon's Rage, not quite enough damage, but just one more auto attack will do it. First blood has been delivered courtesy of Lord.
And that's the 4-minute timer as well. That kill was a bit harder than Vivo Keed would have liked it to be to get that one. So they won't be able to pressure the turret after the play completes, but that's still going to be a first blood. That's still going to be a kill going over to Lot, who we say is so important to tempo the early game on that Lee Sin, especially since he's fallen behind on farming to 7.
Taking a moment to catch up here. We are 30 seconds away from neutral objectives spawning. Vivo Keed have secured 1 kill so far. So it's not an insurmountable lead for RIX.
They want to make it 2, Rafa.
Yes, sir. If you can get this pressure down right before the Rift Herald spawns, you can chain snowball reaction so fast that RIX are going to have to be forced to take the compensation prize. Random, potentially getting baited here. No, remember, no flash from Random, and Lord is there with the repeat gank, delivering mental damage to the top laner.
Mental damage and basically guaranteeing you a free Rift Herald right now. Luckily for RIX, well, I say luckily, but this is pre-planned from them, clearly. They've already set up at the Dragon. They're here, ready to go. They're going to take this one down right on spawn. It's just going to be an objective trade. The problem right now, though, for RIX, Random has died twice already. We look at the T1 series. Random started off with first blood. He started off being able to snowball the game. Now, in such a volatile matchup, he's behind from the get-go.
Clue is here for reinforcement, so it's at least a 2-on-3. Odyssey has taken a lot of damage from Clue. Glacial Fissure knocks him up, takes about 3/4 of his HP, so Odysseus no longer has the tools necessary to be able to fight back, and the first brick was neutralized by RIX.
Neutralized by RIX. They don't get too much out of that one on the side of Vivo Keed. You funnel some gold into Odysseus, but it's also split between Lord and Mena, so he's not too happy with that one for sure. Not the best trade.
Vivo Keed, 2 kills have gone their way. Yes, they have gone to equally both Lord and Odysseus, the 2 people that you want to snowball in this early game. But for RIX, you are content with the fact that at least you are trading up on objectives and you're not falling disastrously behind in gold.
There's one silver lining here for the side of RIX, and that is even though your Jace is behind, you never really want to see your Jace behind. Once he gets accelerated, once we get to the next objective team fight, your team comp still spikes extremely hard in the mid game. Varus, Jace, Kha'Zix, these are all champions that can have a lot of power in a dragon fight scenario. So RIX really need to play that.
They're all building lethality too at some point. Either Muramana here for extra poke damage from Doom and Random, and of course the Duskblade for 7. Whereas the rest of Vivo, these are mostly squishy champions. These are fighters. None of them are traditional tanks, so they can't soak the poke damage for too long.
Yeah, and they need to use the timing to make play.
Katrina is going to spot 2 enemies there. It is a wonderful pick from 7, catching out Lord, but what is the response from Vivo? Hextech Ultimatum locks down one priority target. A beautiful Lantern from Mena keeps Odysseus alive, but you can only keep one alive because Katrina's the straggler left there standing. Doom looking for another arrow under the tower. Random getting revenge after all the harassment he's been dealing with from Vivo. Striking back is RIX.
You can tell Random was angry there, flashing in for the last auto to secure the kill. He gets 2 kills back. He is kind of back in the game right now, Rafa. 1,000 gold lead over Odysseus. They could have gotten the kill on the Camille as well, but kind of botched that one at the end of the day. But they will be happy with this sequence of events. How did it all start, Rafa? Lord got caught.
Lord was trying to just do his red buff. He was vibing. He was like, okay, we're going to make a play on the top side. And oh my god, there's a bug. I didn't bring my fly swatter here, and this bug is a little too out of control.
And you gotta keep in mind, Bug wasn't alone. He's got a strong man behind him as well. Braum there with the shield, with the CC. That's a really good combo.
That's just cheating.
Yeah, it's kind of unfair.
Where's the honor in the 1v1?
Well, even if we take a 1v1 at this point, I don't think it will be close. Law just hit level 9. Septon's been level 10 for a while now. He's been solo farming. Look at the gold and the Kha'Zix.
We talked about it. We alluded to the fact that this Kha'Zix, yes, in the early stages part of the game, at least Sin has the edge, but we're already at 8 minutes into the game almost. It's been past that point.
It's gonna be a while before we see Lord gonna be able to do something of really any value right now. He needs to play around Odysseus. He needs to try to find picks in the side lane, but look at how RIX are rotating on the map. They've moved Random away from Odysseus. They know that's the point of target from Vivo. And that means that they're going to be able to keep him safe, and Vivo can't make any proactive plays of their own. The longer this goes on, the more Lord falls behind him fall.
Obviously, there's still plenty of game time to go.
Yeah, it's so early.
But for RIX, I think you can already tell how much of the adaptations they have taken to heart from their series against T1. RIX, when they were playing against T1, they were the ones that were pressed to get the early advantage. They were the ones that were forced to look for the early gold lead, and because T1s were the ones playing comfortably to just neutralize and stifle them, it made RIX forced into a corner where they were desperate for plays. But because RIX are playing more far back, they're confident in Random being able to catch up. They're in a better spot now.
Well, how much longer would they be in a better spot? This is going to be a huge fight, Rafa.
Gold card at the ready. Katrina can get in range. Finds it on to Snitch, but he's a Singe, so he's going to be just fine. Package from Slash. Watch for the entrance here. Do they go for it?
They're too low.
Rift Herald secured by RIX. Vivo. Maybe they can stop them from getting Rain entrance and priority over the mid lane. Doom with the Chain of Corruptions goes wide. Vivo dodging out on a bullet.
And this is the mid-game power spike that we talked about from RIX. Their team comp is so strong when you group in a 5v5, when you control the chokeholds, you have the poke, you have the Braum to deny any engages, and Vivo if they don't get a pick. Oh, that is massive. He won't be back in time for the Dragon.
Oh, the reset is so crucial for Vivo. It's going to be the second Dragon of the game, potentially for RIX. They're already in position, setting up both the mid and the Dragon Wave. They have full control of the river. Vivo, and I'm pretty sure the package timer ran out, so their one entryway into the pit, it's gone.
It's gone. I don't think there's any way in this for them. They have to run past a Braum. They want to just try and trade mid here. I think that's the only play, but they're too late.
RIX are playing so fast. Chain of Corruptions, this time it lands, and you see the power of Europe come in full swing. No hesitation. They immediately overwhelm Brazil. The rest of Vivo looking for an answer back. Odysseus trades one back onto Clue. He's blinking on low health right now, and it is 7 alongside Random once again getting revenge for Baron Lane.
RIX cleans house here. Odysseus barely gets away with his life, but that's going to be a second charge from the Herald. That's going to be a 4-for-1 trade in favor of RIX. That's going to be a tier 2 mid, Rafa, and Europe strikes hard here.
Europe fans are just absolutely popping off right now. And we go take a look back at the Coca-Cola pop-off, starting off with Doom.
It's all Doom once again. Call back to his Lux performance against T1. He is the one making the picks. He's the one starting the fights off. And the moment they get a favorable fight, the moment they get the numbers advantage, RIX's team composition, random on the Jace that was shut down early. He came back. 7 that's been farming up a storm. They just run you down. They clean up the fight like nothing.
And one thing that we didn't get a chance to mention about Vivo Keed's composition, there's a ton of single target CC, but when it comes to zone control, when it comes to AoE CC, outside of Slash's package, it's almost nothing.
They've got the box.
Yeah.
They've got a flay, Rafa.
The flay in the box is not going to do too much when you've got all 5 members just with a death wish on your hand, just running full speed at you.
Yeah, now they're getting picks, but it's not picks on the targets that you want. You really have just one win condition at this point for Vivo Keed, and that's playing to Odysseus and the side lane. Fortunately for Vivo, they don't have to take a 5v5 for the next couple minutes. This is the timing window where you send your Camille away, and you really just try to TF pot to his lane, but the lane assignments are a bit odd right now. I'm not sure what this is.
Odysseus wants to be on the Baron side of the map.
Yeah.
But if he cannot split push against Random, who has 3 items to his name,
Katrina's dead.
We have double skirmishes on both sides of the map. Red buff being scored away, whereas Katrina gets completely routed off by 7, who is having an absolute monster of performance on this Kha'Zix today.
He's 5,000 gold up on Lord, Rafa.
This is what can happen in the Kha'Zix Lee Sin matchup. You don't snowball, you don't get ahead, and it is the Kha'Zix that runs rampant on the Rift. And it is Europe once again looking to their 2nd seed to make them proud.
RIX now, following GameLot's performance earlier today, they want to be the 2nd European team to keep moving forward in Icons. And at least in this game 1, they're making a very solid case for it. Destiny gets popped. That might just be the 3rd one of the game.
Okay, Katrina can get in range. No, but Snitch is too slippery on this Singe. Yes, it cost his flash, but he gets to keep his life.
Count it, Rafa. The first Destiny gate to the bot lane, too late. 2nd one at the Rift Tower fight, gets nothing. Slash.
8 minutes too late, and Vivo Keed is too late to maintain control of the jungle pit. You can't walk in there, it doesn't belong to you anymore. Katrina gets a huge shutdown onto this 7 Kha'Zix though. Can they turn this fight around? Odysseus, what can he do?
He didn't get the flip.
He can't do a damn thing. It's just too much damage to deal with from the rest of RIX. Remember, this isn't a composition that has tanks, it's all bruisers, but when you're falling behind and RIX gets to slap you with thicker wallets, there's only so much that you can do.
And RIX just get the mid inhibits for free. Snitch is not in a great spot right now, but he's back. He's okay. He's all good. Frankly, Rafa, I think he's too tanky to even die right now.
You know, even if there was a pause, Snitch could have just been like, I mean, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, no need to pause, guys. We are chilling. We're good. But the important point that I want to raise right now, Vivo Keed's team composition. I said I love that, right? Once you get to the mid game, once you get to the late game, it's great. But the problem is, it's so execution reliant. You're so reliant on the Destiny Gate timers to make plays. And all 3 of them in the 14-minute game have just been squandered by Katrina and his team.
And when we look back at the first Destiny potential play on the bottom side of the map where Doom's Splash was forced, you called it out. I didn't think that it was going to be that damning for Vivo Keed, but I might have just been absolutely wrong on that front. Odysseus, though, alongside Katrina, looking for a pick here. Most of the members are not isolated, though. They're still looking for a gold card on the Singe. No, remember, Snitch doesn't have flash from before, still running away. And the poison is ticking, but Doom is just annihilating backline members from Vivo Keed from downtown. A triple kill for Doom, looking for another arrow. I believe that is a quadra kill for Doom.
They
and they're looking for it. Give it to him for Europe, for Doom, for RIX, the 2nd seed. It is a penta for Doom.
The 2nd Varus pentakill of the day, and it goes over to Europe, it goes over to Doom.
And it's a Prime Gaming ace once again, Omo. RIX striking first in this series.
And they strike hard, Rafa. That was domination from start to finish from RIX. Vivo Key, they said we shut down random, we killed him once, we killed him twice, but it's not nearly enough. And today's the day of Europe, Sims.
Game Lord and RIX. I don't know what you guys had in your coffee. Maybe that Singaporean coffee is hitting different right now.
Good, huh?
I know I had some, and I feel pretty freaking fantastic right now. And I know RIX is too.
1-0 right now.
Winning that kind of team movement, taking away gold from the jungle, punishing the attention on the top side. That's the kind of macro play that allows you to play this style of game, that allows you to slowly choke out a team that is putting all of their resources into your top laner.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate the versatility that Snitch brings to the mid lane, right? Anything that RIX needs, Snitch can play it.
Yeah, as you take a look at the gold graph and the damage chart, that gold graph, it was still hovering around a RIX lead around 2K until the big fight around 8 minutes, and then we saw the game-ending pentakill, our second one today, third overall, second one on Paris.
Second one on Varus.
Second one.
Again, high priority on these backline carries, almost like someone has been talking about it for a little while.
Can I talk about something I was wrong about, though?
Of course, I know
Actually-
you love being wrong on TV.
On the record, I wasn't wrong about it, but I was wrong in my head. At the very beginning of this tournament,